Alrighty, guys, welcome back to the Theory Files.
Heyo, I'm Aubrey,
I'm Rachel, and this
and
is
the
the
Fear
Theory
Files.
Files. Oh, if you can't tell, it is late in the day. We have lost it.
Yeah, yeah, we have like zero energy left. I'm feeling it. I bet you're feeling it.
Yeah, I'm
I'm-
exhausted.
yeah, I'm so tired.
Oh,
I'm ready to be off tomorrow. So,
that'll be nice.
yeah, my body is just like, oh my God,
I
just
definitely think the
relax
time
already.
change doesn't help either.
Oh, literally, I had to wake up at 5 this morning for work.
Oh, so
And
that was like 4.
yeah, yeah. I walked out of the bedroom after I got done like getting ready and stuff, and I looked at the time on the oven and it was like 4:30 and I was like,
Well,
ugh. Then I looked on my phone and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot this time change. But it definitely has taken an effect on me.
yeah, for sure. It would definitely me too, and it did. So
Yeah, this day feels like it's dragging, but
I totally agree.
well,
All right. Today's topic is the Tylenol poisonings.
ooh, I've actually been looking forward to going over this one.
So have I, because I knew about it. Obviously, I wasn't alive, but I
Hmm.
knew about it because I can't remember if I had like heard about it from another podcast or if I had like watched the documentary that's on Paramount. I can't remember.
Hmm.
But like I knew about it and Colin had no idea. He was like, the what?
Yeah, I feel like when I first like saw your notes like on wanting to cover it, I was like, I feel like I've heard about this, but I don't know like a ton of information. I just knew like what had happened. But
Yeah.
I was definitely very intrigued to get into this topic.
Yeah, same. Because it's very interesting.
Yeah.
I honestly feel like I could have done a lot more, but there was just already by the time I like finished what I had done, I was like, okay, like this feels like a lot of information. I was like, I
Yeah.
don't want to like kill everybody. Um, it's a lot. Like if you look at like all of the places
There,
they shopped, all of like the people, how like intertwined they were, like there's a ton of stuff we could talk about.
yeah.
So
All right.
all right.
Well,
Um,
I did a little bit of research on it too.
nice, nice. I
All right, you ready to get into it?
I guess. Let's get into it, yeah.
Take it away, Rachel.
So we all have a headache, backache, etc. And typically we need a little bit of relief. So it's easy to go to your medicine cabinet and grab, any sort of NSAID or anything like that.
Hmm.
Typically my preference is Tylenol. Um, and it
Same.
and it's typically the way to go. Unfortunately, in 1982, it was not the way to go. Um, what's crazy is it's still to this day too, like we're unsure of who did this. Like no one's been,
Hmm.
charged for this, which is, I think, honestly, still very scary. Um,
Yeah.
because it created a widespread panic that still plagues people almost 50 years later.
Hmm.
Um, so on September 29th, 1982, Mary Kellerman had a sore throat. I've also seen reports of just like a runny nose, a headache. So obviously she was just down with like a bad cold.
Hmm.
Um, and I mean, I feel like that's kind of the time frame too to like start getting sick and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So her parents gave her a Tylenol capsule. Mary heads to the restroom, and her parents actually hear a collapse. They go in, and she's actually unconscious on the floor. So, like, we're talking within like matters of seconds. Like, she took the
Yeah.
Tylenol capsule, heads to the bathroom, and then, boom. It's very sad, and but at least like she didn't suffer.
Yeah, exactly.
Um, Also, I'm sorry if you hear the dogs. They have decided that it is time
I
to
could hear
play.
him roaming around in the back.
They had decided it was time to play. Um, So, um, as I was saying, she was pronounced dead at Alexi and Brothers Med Center around 10 a.m. And the police interviewed the parents, trying to figure out what happened, examined the house. Just due to her age and circumstances, it's a bit suspicious.
Hmm.
So they decided to do an autopsy. Um, and then not far down the road was Adam Janus. He was actually 27. Um, I forgot to mention Mary Kellerman was 12.
Hmm.
Tw 12.
That's, I mean, that's really, really sad.
Yeah. It's
She's
very
just a
sad
little
because of,
baby.
yeah, she's just a baby.
She's just a baby.
Just a little baby. Um, So Adam Janus, he was 27, and just kind of like Mary, he was feeling a little run down and sick, so he decided to take the day off from work. Around 12, he picked up his kids and headed over to the grocery store to just pick up some medicine, wasn't feeling good.
Hmm.
So he picked up some Tylenol. Um, and he came home, had lunch, took some Tylenol, laid back down, and then only to just, get up and come back into the kitchen seconds later and he just collapsed in the kitchen. I don't know what I would do if like Colin just walked into the kitchen and collapsed. Like that would scare me.
Oh my God, no,
Um,
literally. Because then it's just like, what? What?
yeah, especially like something so innocent as Tylenol.
Hmm.
Um,
Exactly.
he ended up going to Northwest Community, so not the same hospital as Mary Kellerman. So, like, they all didn't go to the same hospital, which is why it took a little bit longer to kind of like connect the dots.
Hmm.
Um, but he was ruled as a possible cardiac death.
Oh
But
my
it,
God.
it was still hard to truly understand what had happened.
Hmm.
Um, So now we're around 3:45 on September 29th. Mary Reiner, 27 as well. Um, she is a mother of four and had just recently given birth to her fourth child, was having some pain, and as you do,
You
you
take
take,
the Tylenol.
yeah. Um, and she collapsed on the floor and was taken to the hospital. Um,
Wasn't she super young too?
yeah, she's 27. She's
Oh
my
my
age.
God.
Both her
Oh,
and
she's,
Adam were my
yeah, I was gonna
age.
say they're both the same age. Oh my God. Oh
Yeah.
my God.
So by 5 p.m., Teresa, who is Adam Janice's wife, his parents, who are a little bit older, more on the like elderly side, brother and his brother's new wife, who's
Hmm.
funny enough also named Teresa, but she's a TH. Adam's wife is not a TH.
That's a
Uh,
little creepy.
right? Isn't that weird?
Yeah, it is weird.
Your brother marries a Teresa, so you're like, I gotta marry a Teresa too. So they head back to Adam and Teresa's home, and his brother Stanley is a little bit younger than him. I think he was like 25. He was,
Hmm.
just struggling with a headache, both him and his wife from being upset, of course, over the death of his brother.
Oh God.
And of course, they're
Oh my God.
unassuming. They took Tylenol from the same bottle Adam had taken Tylenol.
No.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Which of course they both passed out, and were taken to the same hospital Adam was taken to. Um, the same doctor who worked on Adam was about to leave, and a nurse had told them, hey, like the Janus family was being brought back, and he automatically thought, it's his older parents,
Hmm.
maybe they're upset, grief-stricken, something along the lines of that, only to be surprised it was the younger brother and his wife.
I mean, yeah, I mean, what are the odds of that happening?
Right?
Like you just had their brother in here who died, and now you have the brother and his sister-in-law coming in there as well. That's
Yeah,
fucking insane. My
it
mind would be like, what is going on right now?
right. Then you would think like there has to be something environmentally that's causing this.
Yes. Yes.
At least like that would be
Then
my
I'd be
thought.
like, oh God. I can't even imagine.
Yeah. So, yeah, Adam was 27. His brother Stanley was 25. Teresa was only 20.
God, they're
Yeah.
so young.
And those were all three
Oh
from a
my God.
singular bottle. Like,
Hmm.
how many were in that bottle that were laced with cyanide,
I want to know too.
right? Um, so around 6:30 p.m. that day, another Mary, so sad, that it happened to be two Marys. Actually, there's three.
Oh
Kellerman,
yeah.
Reiner, and now this one.
Hmm.
Her name's Mary McFarland. She
Hmm.
was 31, just working at a retail store, struggling with a bad headache. I can definitely relate and empathize. You and I have both been there so many times.
Yeah.
Just trying to make it through the shift with a bad headache. So you just
Yeah.
take some Tylenol.
Hmm.
She took said Tylenol and unfortunately she fell to the floor within minutes. Um,
The fact that it acts so fast like that.
well, you gotta think too, like cyanide is,
I know, it's
yeah,
just,
yeah. Um, and like Colin and I were talking about that, like the Tylenol itself, because the odds of them getting two pills of cyanide is just, you know,
hmm.
I feel like
Yeah.
that's just wild.
Yeah.
So more than likely they got like a cyanide pill and then a Tylenol pill. Um, and the Tylenol, Colin was saying, would just like increase its action. It's
Oh my
already a
God.
fast acting poison to begin with. So he was saying like it could just make it move even faster.
Oh my God, I
Um,
didn't know that.
yeah,
Wow. But
yeah,
it's the fact that they literally, each one of them grabbed that one
yeah.
Tylenol pill, quote unquote, that is actually cyanide. That's actually insane.
It is. And I mean cyanide is most, like it was used as a chemical weapon, in World War
Right,
One, but
right.
I just I
That's
can't,
horrible.
like first of all, how the fuck do you get your hands on that?
That's what I'm
I
saying.
just don't understand. Um, I don't understand, but
I don't know either.
I mean,
Maybe
we're
I
also
don't want to know.
all right. Don't want to be put on a list. Um, yeah, I don't know. So around 8 p.m., we're still, again, September 29th,
Hmm.
1982, 8 p.m. So right now we are at Mary Kellerman, Adam
Hmm.
Janis, Mary Reiner, Stanley Janis, Teresa, and Mary McFarland. So at 8 p.m., we're already at six victims.
Hmm.
Could you
Who's
imagine?
next?
Could you imagine if we had like not reacted the way we did in this time frame? Like
Mm. And it's crazy. They
how,
were all in this same, weren't they all like living in the same like area too?
yeah, yeah. I
Oh
think
my God.
Adam was only, I think, like a couple miles from Mary Kellerman's house. And like there was only one, two, three, four, five stores. Five stores that sold those deathly doses,
Oh my God.
right? Right? It's just
Holy
crazy.
shit.
Um, so around 8 p.m., the officers actually arrive at the Janus house.
Hmm.
Um, and especially if you have three people out of one family to, you know, drop ill suddenly, you would expect to walk in the house and be like, huh, here it is. Like, here's the problem.
Hmm.
Um, but obviously that's
Not the
not what
case.
happened.
Yeah.
Um, so a Tylenol bottle was found on the counter with six capsules missing. And this is also like, I have to like point this out. This is why a lot of companies don't use capsules anymore because you can easily change like what's in the capsules.
Interesting.
Typically, I only see capsules um from like behind the counter, not over the counter
Right.
drugs. Um
Even then, like
it's
it's
yeah, it's very
that's still a
minimum.
scary. Yeah.
Because I mean you would think I've never worked in a pharmacy, but I would think
Hmm.
like pharmaceutical wise, like that would be difficult to like open
Right.
it and change it while you're working, unless like you're creating the capsules. Because that is something that like sometimes pharmacies do. They will like create the like actual capsules on hand. It's
Yeah.
not just like
Yeah.
in a bottle as the capsule, the powder capsule and kind of like together. Um,
Well, they also put seals on everything now. They didn't have that back
yes,
then, did they?
yes, no, they did not because of this Tylenol, like J the Johnson and Johnson company that like obviously
Yeah.
owns Tylenol. They
Hmm.
yeah, we'll talk about that later. They did a little something something.
I was
Um,
gonna say that. They did a little song song.
um,
Okay.
so. The said bottle was taken back to the facility with them, just testing it and whatnot. And by 8:15, unfortunately, Stanley Janis was pronounced dead.
So sad.
It is, especially for him to only be 25. I mean, I understand like 25 to 27 is only 2 year difference, but that's still so
Yeah.
sad.
Hmm.
Um, Around
Very sad.
9:30 p.m., Paula Prince, a 35-year-old flight attendant from the United Airlines, stopped at Walgreens to you know, do what you do, grab some Tylenol.
Oh God. Oh God.
Uh, yeah. Unfortunately, she did not take it at the moment. Um, I mean, fortunately, unfortunately, but unfortunately, she still does pass away. Um, when they reviewed the Tylenol from both Mary and Adam's houses, so Mary
Hmm.
Kellerman and Adam Janis, they actually realized they were the same control number, MC2880. Um, So then obviously that's going to make a couple of your gears go.
Hmm.
Investigator, I cannot pronounce his last name to save my life. Pishos? Uh, Pissos? Pissos?
Pishos?
Pissos? Is it Pissos?
I'm gonna say Pissos.
Go ahead, girl. Piss. Speaking of, go ahead, girl, piss. I was scrolling, and I found go forth and piss maiden.
What?
Instead of go ahead, girl, piss, go forth and piss maiden. I just sent it
He
to
sent it
you.
to me.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
That's fucking hilarious.
Uh,
Thank you for that.
you're welcome. My pleasure. Um,
Oh, that's so
so when
funny.
the investigator, I have no idea again how to say his name. We're gonna go with Pissos. Um,
Sounds good to me.
oh, sorry, my headphones are dying. How terrible. Um, I had all day. I could have charged them too, and I didn't do it.
That's okay. I forgive you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So when he opened and he looked at the pills, was pouring them out, nothing really looked out of the ordinary. They just looked like typical Tylenol pills until he got a strong whiff of almonds.
Almonds.
Yeah, apparently it's like a rare thing for you to be able to smell a strong smell of almonds, like when you're near cyanide,
Interesting. I'm gonna write that
right?
down.
It's something like half the population can smell it that way.
That's really
It's
interesting.
it's like those people that have the gene where like cilantro tastes like soap.
What the fuck?
You've
I've
never heard
I've
that?
never heard that before.
What? I'm pretty
No.
sure it's a gene. Cilantro smell like soap. Some people perceive cilantro as tasting like soap due to a genetic variation in their olfactory receptor genes, specifically OR6A2, which makes them more sensitive to certain aldehydes. I wonder what an aldehyde is. Um, we might be having a little science class here. Certain aldehydes found in both cilantro and soap. What is an aldehyde?
A class of organic compounds that contain a carbon atom double bonded to an oxygen atom and a single bonded to a hydrogen atom in another atom or group.
Yeah, I failed chemistry too, so.
English, please.
I failed. I failed. I didn't fail chemistry. Um, it just wasn't easy.
But it
So,
says an aldehyde smell is described as clean, metallic, or even a slightly soapy smell.
huh,
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah, super weird.
So a little on cyanide. It is a chemical asphyxiant. So what it's going to do is it's actually going to block the red cells from receiving oxygen, um, which would cause cardiac arrest and brain damage. Um, it moves, like we said, rather quickly. Um,
Mhm.
insert my little note about Colin saying something about Tylenol assisting it. I really should have asked him about that, but oh well. Oh, Schwale. Um,
Yeah, because I want to know how that works.
he definitely wanted to be in on this one because he wanted to like talk about that. Um,
We would have been here for 3 hours.
I was just about to say that. I do, however, I do want his opinion though when we cover
Sleep paralysis.
yes,
Hmm.
yes. Because the like I don't know, it's just very interesting and like you know how Colin's brain works.
Yeah.
He's very smart.
Yes, he is.
So after getting results from the lab, the investigator found out that it was a massive amount of cyanide in the pills, something to the tune of like 100 or more times the amount necessary to kill them.
Jesus fuck.
Which is why, like, they took the cyanide and they
And that's
died.
why they died like immediately.
Yeah, yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
So like not only would the Tylenol like assist with it moving faster, per Colin, don't ask me. I am not a nurse. Um uh yeah, it moves rather quickly on its own, so like I can't imagine.
Hmm.
So by 3:15 the next morning, so we're now on September 30th.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, Mary McFarland was pronounced dead at Good Samaritan Hospital. Um, And then Mary Reiner was pronounced dead around 9:30 a.m. at Central DuPage Hospital. So we're now at four hospitals, which is
Oh
again
my
like
God.
I have to stress like that's why it took so long to put two and two together. Because
Right.
it's not like this was all happening in one facility and they can just kind of go, oh, like let's go down to the next floor and see the next patient and like figure out what's going on.
Hmm.
So by 10 a.m. on the 30th, is it the 30th? Yes. I already forgot. It's been a long day.
It
By
has.
10 a.m., a Johnson and Johnson attorney shows up at the med examiner's office and reviewed the lab reports. And now knowing that cyanide was in the Tylenol, they decided there was no way they could release that information.
So what did they do?
I'm gonna tell you. Um, I needed a
Hurry
dramatic
up,
pause.
Rachel.
I needed a
Dramatic
dramatic pause.
pause.
This is a show, Aubrey.
That was funny. All right, continue. I'm sorry.
Um, I mean, just look at the way we handled COVID. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So, they actually held a press conference and just told people in the Chicago area simply to just not take Tylenol. Not a recall, just a
Wait,
beware,
what?
don't take. No, no, it wasn't a recall.
Why didn't they have a recall? You'd think that they would if people are actually dying from.
And you know there's cyanide in it. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, they haven't done that yet.
Because what if the
Um,
message doesn't get passed along to
across,
other
yeah.
stores? Then people
Or
are
what
just
if
still,
someone doesn't take you seriously because you just
no,
said
for,
don't take
yeah.
it?
Yeah,
Again,
people
it's
don't always
look
fucking
at
listen.
COVID and the way we responded to wear your
Yeah,
mask. Not, hey,
exactly.
you are required to wear your mask when you cannot social distance 6 feet. Yeah, no.
Right.
Yeah, whatever.
Well, that's
Um,
insane.
yeah. a nurse from the hospital that Mary Kellerman was at was telling the police department, like, you need to take this off the motherfucking shelves. Like,
Right.
just take it off the shelves. Again, of course,
As they should, but
didn't happen. Um, but by 3 p.m., Johnson and Johnson did decide to recall the lot MC2880.
Woo!
Again, this is the lot that Mary Kellerman and the Janus family had taken. Um, honestly, like at this point, like I'm not the world's smartest person, but there are just too many similarities to not go, hmm, let's recall Tylenol.
Hmm.
Because at this point, like you don't know, is this happening in stores? Is this happening in facilities where they're creating Tylenol? Like,
Like at the plant and stuff.
yeah. Like you just don't know. Is like the truck
Right.
driver pulling over and
Yeah.
like changing stuff? Like you don't know like where it's
Hmm.
happening,
Could be
who's doing
literally
it.
anybody.
Yeah, like this could have been so much more widespread if it was someone like working in the facilities, like
Yeah.
putting cyanide in it. But I did read where like some reports were showing where like the cyanide in it was actually like destroying the capsule pill. So like the two pieces that, like hold your powder inside of it,
Hmm.
the cyanide was actually deteriorating it. So,
Oh, wow.
well, because he again, like there was so much in it.
Yeah.
It wasn't just like, let me add a little this, a little bit of that. It's
Like
it's
it
it's like the
basically ate the capsule and just went, pfft.
yeah, it's like the dad from Powerpuff Girls who just knocks over that whole fucking container. Um,
That
there
was a
was
good
no
example.
science. He was just like, let's put it in here.
That was a good
Um,
example.
my thank you.
You're
I
welcome.
just
I love the
okay.
Powerpuff Girls.
So we're gonna go to 1:15 the next day, October 1st. They took Stanley, Janice's wife, Teresa, off life support.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
And
so
around
sad.
5 p.m., Paula Prince, who we talked about earlier briefly, she was found dead in her apartment.
Oh my God.
She was supposed to meet up with family for like a dinner, and
Didn't
hadn't
show up.
showed up.
Mm.
So they requested a welfare check. And what do they find on the vanity sitting open?
The fucking Tylenol.
The fucking Tylenol.
God.
I know.
Now, when they recalled it, did they also do like the extra strength Tylenol or was it just a regular Tylenol?
It was
Because,
only this one lot originally.
oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. So
Should have
we're
just
gonna
done
fast forward
it
again.
all.
Yeah, right. That's my opinion. We're gonna
Hmm.
fast forward again to October 4th.
Okay. October 4th.
The Chicago City Council actually passed an ordinance requiring tamper-resistant packaging for drugs stolen stores.
Wait, what?
I can repeat this. October 4th, the Chicago City Council passed an ordinance requiring tamper-resistant packaging for drugs sold in stores. So
Oh,
like your
so that's when the
Tylenol.
seal was made, right?
Yes. Yes. Um, by the next day, Johnson and Johnson had already recalled all of its Tylenol products. They were like,
Hmm.
gimme, 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 gimme back, gimme back,
Yeah.
gimme back. Um, take a guess at how many bottles. Wild guess.
Mm,
Throw out a number. Let it out.
I'm gonna say 100,000.
Nah,
More?
nah. Yeah. Obviously it's only in the 80s, so like I couldn't imagine if something like this happened in this day and age, but there was 31 million bottles. Yeah. It took them almost 48 hours to get all of the Tylenol bottles off the shelf.
Oh my
Um,
God.
so
Well, I mean, good
said
for them for doing a giant recall, finally.
after everyone's already fucking died.
Literally.
I mean, I don't mean to be as morbid and like blatant
Yeah.
as saying it, but like I'm sorry,
Yeah,
like this is like 5 days too fucking late at this point.
agreed.
So the 31 million bottles actually were valued at $100 million in 1982.
Wow. Wow.
In 2025, that's worth over $3 million today,
Wow.
or 3 billion. Can
Oh,
I read?
wow.
3 billion.
Holy
Yeah, I
fuck.
can't read. I can't read. I'm even wearing my glasses.
I was gonna
Uh,
say, are you wearing your glasses?
yes, yes. Since working in front of a computer all day, every day,
Yeah, I can't even imagine. Your eyeballs are
my
probably done.
my eyeballs are really bad now.
Yeah, understandable.
Such is life. Um, so the pills that actually caused these casualties were actually manufactured in two different facilities. So again, like kind of acknowledging that it wasn't something that happened in the facilities. One was in Texas and then one was in Pennsylvania.
Hmm.
Again, totally my opinion that it just shows that it wasn't done in the facilities. But then from the shelves. So then my question is like, was it stolen and swapped? Or like somehow did they get this done while they were there at the store? I don't know. I would be interesting to know like how potent cyanide would be. I would assume that would not be something you could just go to CVS and like go to the bathroom and like do a little science experiment and like switch shit
Right.
up. Um,
It does create a different amount of theories in your head on how this person could have
yeah,
accomplished that. Because they
especially
could
when we
have
still
worked.
don't know who it was.
Right, right.
Yeah. So as we said, it's almost 50 years later and no one has ever been arrested or charged for this crime,
God.
which
Well,
I think is wild.
yeah,
Um, I don't know. I don't know if like maybe like touch DNA in the 80s wasn't what it is now. I would, be curious to think like if something like this had happened in this day and age. Um,
yeah.
Obviously the bottles get handled a million times, so like how many
Literally,
fingerprints would be
yeah,
on that bottle?
exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Because
it
you would
would
have
be
to think
hard to
like
tell
putting the
who.
pills in, putting the
Hmm.
like little puff in, because like they put that little like
Yeah.
puff in there,
Hmm.
and then they like top it with that little saran wrap looking thing, and
Hmm.
then they seal. Like that's a lot
Then it
of
gets put
people.
into containers, and then it gets put into a truck, and then it gets sent away, then it gets put on the shelf. So you have like a million different hands touching these bottles
Yeah.
and pills.
So I guess then at that point, like touch DNA or like DNA in general would just be a moot point,
Yeah.
which is kind of scary. Mass casualties like this with no like intended victims, like not like I'm gonna go after Aubrey. It's just like let's just
Mhm.
create mass hysteria. Like that kind of shit scares me
No,
so
same.
badly. Because like I can deal with like someone disliking me and like wanting to hurt me, but like because that's
It's a
like
random ass person that doesn't even know you.
right, right. Um,
That's
but
fucking horrifying.
like think about like how much this has caused like hysteria wise. Like I don't know. I, I understand now the fear of Halloween candy and tampering. Like
Hmm.
you just go to random people's house and they give you candy.
Yeah,
Isn't
that's
that
a
what
little
we're taught
sketch.
not to do?
We'll take
Aren't
candy
we
from
taught
strangers.
not to do that?
If we do it anyways.
On this one day. This one day, it's
One day,
acceptable.
yeah, I was gonna say it's acceptable. The
This
one
one
day out of the
day,
year.
you can't fuck with me because I'm gonna get some candy.
I can't. Oh, that's so funny.
um, yeah, I don't know.
I just want to know who did it.
I do too. Um, Now, obviously, we all know about James Lewis, and the extortion letter arriving at Johnson and Johnson demanding $1
Hmm.
million to stop the
Boo.
Tylenol killings.
Hmm.
Um, Obviously, it was traced back to James Lewis, and he was charged and sent to jail for his crimes.
He's a
Um,
creepy looking man. He's
yes.
scary.
Well, wait till you hear some of the shit that he did before this
Oh
and
God.
after,
Oh God.
because he is not
Lay it
good.
on me.
This extortion crime is not the only crime he has committed. Um, I do want to note, though, he only served 13 years out of his 20-year sentence, which I think is pretty wild.
How did he get out? What good behavior?
Probably. Um,
I'm so sick of that shit.
same. What's the
But
point in saying you're gonna go in for 20 years and then you only serve
for literally
13?
murder or anything else, why are you getting out on good behavior? No, that should not even be a fucking thing.
You weren't good when you killed them.
That's what I'm saying. In majority of the times, the victims are women, but yet they're in jail surrounded by men. Obviously, they're going to be on good behavior because those aren't the people that they're fucking targeting. So,
Yep,
like,
yep.
anyways.
Yep. Um, he was actually born on August 8th, 1946 in Memphis. And he spent most of his life working as a tax consultant and a tax accountant. So no scientific background. Although I don't know how much scientific background you would even need to poison people.
I think he probably just searched on the internet. Wait, this is 1982. But
Could you
well,
hear me click? Could you hear me clicking?
no.
How to kill with cyanide.
That probably just raised a red flag.
I'm just kidding. I didn't type it. I was just smashing my keyboard. Um, so in 1978, so he was what? 32 years old. In 1978, he was actually charged with the murder of a 72-year-old man named Raymond West from Kansas City, Missouri. He had worked for Raymond as his accountant. And this poor old man, his body was found dismembered and decomposing from a pulley in the attic of his home.
A, a pulley?
Yeah, like a pulley lever.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
The same day, like he was found the same day, Lewis was trying to cash a forged check from Mr. West's account.
Oh my God.
Get this shit.
Oh
Are you
God, what
ready?
did he do?
Are you ready? Buckle up.
I'm ready.
He was let go and the case was dismissed after the judge found out they did not inform Lewis of his Miranda rights at the time of arrest.
Are you fucked? You had one job to do, one fucking job, and you failed.
I know, I know. And you know what? If you ever watch like body camera videos, like they always have like a little like plastic sleeve and it's
Hmm.
got the Miranda rights on it. I've even seen them like pull this shit up on their fucking phone and like read off the Miranda rights. Obviously phones were not like a thing in the 80 and 78 but whatevs.
Hmm.
Ah,
But still, you could have written that shit down on your hand, on your fucking arm, on a piece of paper.
tattoo it
For
right on the
real.
forearm.
Oh my God. Wake up in the
Um
morning and say it to yourself in the mirror. Then you'll
yeah.
remember it. Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's fucking annoying,
Listen,
bro.
if Taylor Swift can memorize 3.5 hours worth of music, you can memorize your Miranda rights.
I'm surprised that's the first thing you said about Taylor Swift. We're on the third episode.
Oh my God, that's true.
Oh God.
Damn, that's kind of sad. Um, I'm sorry, Tay. I'm sorry, Tay Tay.
I can't with you.
um, then in 1983, he was convicted on 6 counts of mail fraud involving past clients from his tax services in Kansas City in 1981. Um,
God.
yeah, mail fraud,
Jesus
white
Christ.
collar crimes. In 1995, he was released from the prison in regards to the Tylenol case. He then moved to the Boston area, and then in 2004 he was indicted on 6 charges, including rape and drugging a person with intent to
Oh
stupefy or overpower for sexual intercourse.
oh my God.
Yeah, he's a swell man.
He's a piece of shit. I hate this man.
Yeah, I fucking do
I hate
too.
him.
Um,
Oh
yeah,
my
he's a
God.
swell guy. Um, yeah, he was held without bail in 2007. Thank God. Um, but in 2023, on the 40th anniversary, they attempted to connect with him again and again to interview him. Of course, he vehemently denied it. Denied it, and he denied interviews as well. Um, But a fun fact is only 6 weeks after the crisis, Johnson and Johnson came up with safety features to prevent tampering. So they call it a cotton wad, and then the foil seal, childproof cap, and a plastic wrap.
So what does the cotton wad even do?
It's essentially just to kind of push the pills down, and keep them in like a kind of like a singular area rather than like allowing them to shake in the bottle. I don't really think it matters because a lot of people don't use that nowadays when you like open
Yeah.
capsules. I tend to only find it in vitamins a ton because those do tend to kind of like crumble sometimes.
Interesting.
Um, but he ended up passing away on July 9th, 2023 at 76 years old.
Ooh, should have died a lot sooner.
Yeah, he was quite a shisty guy from all accounts that I had read about him. I didn't want to give him too much, because he is a shitty fucking person.
Yeah.
Do this, um, Even if he didn't do this, he still, did some very egregious crimes. And I
Yeah,
quite
I would
frankly
think,
don't like him.
yeah. Well, I would think if you're not guilty, then why would you say no to having interviews and being questioned if you
Right?
know
Wouldn't
you
you want to
didn't do
clear your
anything
name?
wrong? Because you just saying no and refusing to do it makes you look even more fucking guilty.
But then at the same time, too, like think about how many people like can manipulate the conversation and like can edit and add and change just the
Yeah.
way that the conversation sounds.
Yeah,
So
I
I
get
can
that too,
understand
because
protecting yourself.
at that point they probably just wanted to catch the person who would did it.
Yeah.
So they're
Yeah.
probably just wanting it to be literally anybody, and he's a perfect example.
Oh, 100%.
Uh-huh.
He would have been a great scapegoat just sheerly on the fact that everybody
No,
fucking
literally.
hated him.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, so that's the Tylenol cases. We are in 2025 and still have no fucking clue who did this shit,
That's insane.
which is kind of scary. But at this point, they'd be in like their late 70s, so I mean, I don't know. They could still do it.
I I don't know. I think I don't know, just with some stuff that I read about James Lewis, I was like, yep, it's definitely him.
Yeah, I think he was connected to somebody that worked in one of the facilities, if I
Yeah,
remember correctly.
yeah.
Um,
So I don't know. He's just I wish they were able to solve the case and find out who actually did it, but
at least
I don't
just
think
for
it's
a
something
peace of
that's ever going to be
mind.
solved.
No,
Exactly.
and
But
I think that's honestly so sad for the families that had to deal with this.
oh yeah, it
Um,
definitely is. Because now
because
they don't have any fucking closure.
yeah, yeah,
I
it's
don't know.
very sad because most of these people are probably still alive and still remember this. Um, I
Hmm.
was listening to somebody talk about it and they were like, like their parents remember it. They don't because they were little, but like their
Right.
parents remember it and talked
It's
about
so
like
sad.
how scary it was to like not be able to feel comfortable taking your own medicine. I mean, and when you think
Exactly.
about it too, like if you're pregnant, Tylenol is the one and only pain reliever you're allowed to take.
Oh my God.
Don't ask me why. I don't know. I'm not a scientist, Aubrey. But like that's the one and only like pain reliever you're allowed to take. So like I couldn't imagine like
Oh my God, being
not being
back then and not being able to take that Tylenol because everything's fucking recalled.
yeah,
That's horrible. I can't
yeah.
even imagine.
Yeah, it's definitely something that really like reset the way like we handle stuff
Yeah.
when it comes to like our safety and stuff like that. So,
Well, it's definitely good that we now have protective seals over bottles.
yeah, but they're still fucking annoying to open.
Yeah, they are really fucking annoying to open.
Sounds terrible to say it out loud, but especially since 7 people died
I
for
know.
us to have this.
May they
You know, and
rest
it,
in peace.
yeah, and I think Mary Kellerman makes me the saddest because like
I know,
she
she's
never
just a
had a
baby.
chance. She is. She's just a baby. She's 12. The only thing like she should be concerned about is like what to wear to school the next day and what boy was looking at her. Like that's like
For real. I can't even take Tylenol now and I struggle. I can't even imagine taking it when I'm 12 years old. I can't swallow any pills.
what? What?
You know what I mean?
What do you like struggle taking medicine?
Yeah, you
Like
know I can't take like vitamins that well. I like choke on them.
that's what she said.
Yeah. Oh my God. Goodbye. That was the first one.
I know. I'm proud of myself.
Surprised it didn't
I
happen sooner.
am too.
All right.
Well, don't do crime.
Don't do it. Don't be like a James Lewis.
Yeah, be like an Aubrey Allen.
Yeah.
Can't take vitamins.
Yeah. Don't be like me. Sucks. All righty.
Bye.
Goodbye, everyone.
Peace.
Peace.